As I move through my home, decluttering the things that no longer fit my life and making space for what does, I can feel something shifting. I shared how I cleared out the hoarder guest bedroom I had been sleeping in for months after Mr. C passed away and transformed it into a beautiful dressing room, a space where I now enjoy slowing down and getting ready for the day. Now we're making our way into the rest of the bedrooms. The new flooring has been installed throughout the hallway and the bedrooms, and my son added chair rail for architectural detail. And as I prep the hallway for paint, it feels like more than just another home project. For the first time in a long time, I truly feel like I'm moving in the right direction, letting go of the things that no longer serve me, making peace with the past, and creating a home and a life that feels hopeful again. My son finished up the chair rail on the other half of the hallway. I don't know why they didn't put chair rail because they have it here, but not there. So that is fantastic. It's just PVC, but I'm gonna tell you what, it cut so cleanly. My son had no issue cutting it or installing it. He used a Loctite power grab to attach it, but I think it just makes it look a little bit more elevated through here. I am going to paint, and you can see the paint samples I have. I think I'm going more with this taupey color. This is actually Edgecomb gray, but it doesn't really look gray. Now, the walls through here are gray. I just don't think that goes really well with the flooring. I think the more taupey color is gonna look sensational. And I don't know if I'm gonna put artwork up. Like I said, I am in the mindset of a project manager. I might stage the rooms for when I get ready to sell, but I am not trying to make this my forever home at the moment. I am looking at this from more of a facts-based, facts-driven, money-driven approach where I am just trying to get this sold and figure out what I want to do with my life. I love this cart. I take it everywhere around when I'm doing projects. I can put all my stuff on there. I kind of feel like a librarian rolling her book cart through the library, or a janitor. I'm just missing the keys. Since I won't be able to figure out my entire life in this video, we're just going to focus on prepping the walls for paint, decluttering the linen closet, and creating a little DIY project in the sunroom. It's been 15 months since I lost Mr. C so suddenly, and for close to a year, I isolated myself. I stopped attending church on a regular basis. I quit entertaining like I used to, aside from having my sons, daughter-in-law, and grandkids over. And honestly, I just kept to myself. But lately, I've started feeling ready to slowly open myself back up to friends and family again. Hey, Mama's little helper. Did you come to help Mama? You're such a good little helper. What would I do without you, baby girl? What would I do without you? Once a month, I now meet my brother for breakfast. He's been a widower for 13 years, so he completely understands what this kind of loss feels like. I've also started hosting a monthly dinner and Bible study at my house with my two sisters-in-law. And recently, I did some volunteer work that brought me so much joy. I've always loved helping people, but for a long time, I felt like I couldn't even help myself. And personally, I don't think the real healing process even begins until after that first year. Because in my case, I was living in shock, pain, and disbelief. And I definitely wasn't thinking clearly. Honestly, there were days I wanted to curl up in a ball and disappear. It's hard to pour into other people when you feel completely empty yourself. But over these last 15 months, I've done my best to take life one day at a time, leaning into God's promises instead of my own expectations. And little by little, I'm starting to feel like myself again. 1 hour and I was able to get all of the end of the hallway. There's so many doors. That's what slows me down. If I had straight lines and just walls, it wouldn't take this long. But in an hour, not quite halfway down the hallway, but a huge dent. I wish I didn't have to use painter's tape, but I do not have the steadiest hand. So I'll probably keep frog tape in business. After another hour of taping off all the molding, I was finally finished and ready to move on to decluttering the linen closet. The closet was a little bit of a mess, but it wasn't too bad. But I still knew there were things in there I could donate and finally let go of instead of holding on to the guilt of having bought these items and never used them.
And don't you touch anything. Don't you mess with anything.
I quickly went through everything, pulled out the items I knew I could donate, organized all my health and beauty products together, and decided to hold onto my feather pillows for future use, along with the curtains I plan to hang in the guest bedrooms. At one point in my life, I would have wanted my linen closet perfectly organized with baskets and bins, but now I prefer keeping things simple. And honestly, when everything gets tucked away in baskets and bins, it's easy to forget what you already have and then end up buying more things you didn't actually need. At least, that's been my experience. Once I was finished, I ended up with a few empty baskets, a box full of donations, and a clean, organized linen closet. And honestly, it felt really good. I mentioned earlier about slowly opening myself and my home back up to family and friends. And one of the ways I'm doing that is by having my two sisters-in-law over once a month for dinner and Bible study. I am so thankful to have two sisters in Christ that I have been able to lean on through some of the darkest moments in my life. So having this time together each month is truly a blessing. So when Van Casso reached out to me to showcase their beautiful dinnerware, I knew it was the perfect opportunity to create a warm and inviting space to welcome them into my home. Van Casso gifted me this beautiful set of bohemian-inspired dinnerware made from premium porcelain with a sleek glaze and vibrant colors. The pieces are microwave, oven, and dishwasher safe. and I knew right away they'd be perfect for summer entertaining in my sunroom. As I looked through all the different patterns, I decided to choose one for each of us based on our personalities. For my Greek sister-in-law, I picked this vibrant pattern because she has such a big personality and always brings such positive, sunny energy wherever she goes. For my other sister-in-law, I chose a softer, more delicate pattern because she is truly one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. Very meek, even-tempered, and very loving. And for myself, I chose the one with the bold pops of blue because blue has always been my favorite color. I love how the 3 patterns I chose all work so beautifully together, kind of like the relationships my sisters-in-law and I share. All very different, but somehow the perfect complement to one another. Vancasso was also kind enough to give me a coupon code to share with all of you. If you've been looking for beautiful dinnerware, they have such a huge selection of styles and patterns to choose from. If you'd like to browse their collection, I'll leave the website link and discount code down in my description box. And a big thank you to Vancasso for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Before I styled the table with all the beautiful dinnerware, I wanted to finally tackle an easy DIY project that had been sitting in the back of my mind for a couple of years. This table sat in my foyer for years, but I always imagined turning it into 2 separate side tables. Now, I had no idea where I would use them, but the idea never left me. Last year, I moved the table out of the foyer, and honestly, I came very close to donating it. Then it suddenly hit me. These would be perfect in the sunroom. So I took the table apart, and my son mounted the 2 pieces to the wall underneath the sconces in the sunroom, and I instantly fell in love with how they looked. While I loved the curved legs of the tables, I wanted to give them a more timeless and elegant feel, so I ordered this gorgeous box pleat table skirt in the color Wedgwood. The camera really doesn't do the color justice, but trust me, it's such a rich and elegant shade. It's actually from the same company where I bought the table skirt for my vanity. And honestly, I couldn't have purchased the fabric and paid someone to make these for less than what they sell them for. For the 2 tables, I ordered 1 long skirt and simply cut it in half to make 2. Now listen, I'm not a seamstress. I can barely sew a button onto a shirt. So if you're a professional, just look away for this part because I know this is probably not the proper way to cut fabric. But in the end, no one is ever going to see the unfinished edges anyway. I also couldn't find my hem tape that I used in the past with my iron to secure hems. So for now, it's just going to stay exactly the way it is.
Oh, girl, watch out. No, baby, I gotta get all this dust out of here.
What do you mean, girl? Uh-oh, calm down. Baby girl, are you okay? Are you okay? The tables turned out even better than I imagined they would. Every time I walk into the sunroom now, it feels like stepping into a charming little antique shop or a quaint cafe. And honestly, they just make me smile. I added a couple of dried boxwood topiaries on top for a soft pop of color. I love dried boxwood because they're so easy to maintain. All you have to do is lightly spray them with water once a month. I've had these now for about 6 years and they still look just as beautiful as the day I bought them. The only issue is that every time I spray them, Scarlett suddenly thinks she should be watered too. Now you tell all of our friends you're sorry for getting so loud and busting their eardrums. Look, they're right there. Look, say I'm sorry. Say I'm sorry. Look at that face. How can you be mad at it? And now she's soaking wet. Soaking wet. I paired the vibrant dinnerware with rattan chargers to help ground each place setting. And I used small glasses for our iced tea and wine glasses for water. I also pulled out these brown paper napkins, but they feel like linen. I've had these stored away since Thanksgiving a couple of years ago, and I love how they look paired with the gold silverware. Since it was just the three of us, I used the rest of the table to hold all the food. I love using silver chafing dish stands as risers for serving pieces, and I use a little museum putty underneath the trays to keep everything secure and from sliding around. I've never been afraid to mix metals, so I brought out this brass planter that I have used for years to serve bread. And because I thought it'd be nice to end the evening with tea and dessert, I brought out a few of my favorite teas, but my absolute favorite is the Harney & Sons Hot Cinnamon Tea. It is absolutely divine. Gathering like this each month with my sisters-in-law gives us a chance to slow down, pray for one another, encourage each other, and grow together through the Word of God. And honestly, after these grueling 15 months, it feels good to be able to start opening up my home and my heart again to the people I love the most.